Hello again, welcome back to my illustration series. Today we're going to be taking another look at Comic Fun, the book I wrote and illustrated about creating your own comic books, comic strips, and that kind of thing. Now, in previous tutorials I've spoken about layouts and viewpoints. Today I want to talk about characters and the different types of characters you can create for your different types of comic books. Okay, here we go, but before we start, of course, if you want to know what's coming up next, well, ring that little bell icon and subscribe please, thank you. Okay, characters. Sometimes it's a good idea to draw your character in detail before you start to use it in your comic book. This one I've actually drawn in quite a bit of detail in fact, but I wouldn't use it in a comic book because it's too much of the detail. Okay, it's alright to use in a single cartoon like that, the way I've done. To put it into a comic strip, of course, or a comic book, you have to simplify it. And here's how you do it. Take away all these extraneous details and simplify it down to the main shapes. The same with your characters if you're doing, say, a graphic novel or a comic book about a fantasy story. A wizard, there's the kind of rough sketch. Realistic drawing, something you might want to do just to help yourself, to get an idea of how best to simplify it for your comic book. The same with a warrior or a knight. There's your rough drawing. There's a realistic drawing, of course, too much detail for an actual comic book because it takes ages to do it all. But here's a simplified version. Alright, so let's look at some more. Okay, here's an alien from a kind of space sci-fi type comic, visualized as a dinosaur. You know, there's a kind of rough shape there. There's a more realistic look. This one's a bit more, I shall say, threatening than this one, which is simplified but become a bit more comedic. Okay, so here we have down back to the fantasy again. We have the rough shape of the dwarf, and then a bit detail for the realistic drawing, and the simplified version here. Same with the elf. There's your sketch, bit of realism there, then simplification, okay, bigger eyes and so on. And the same with the troll. There's your rough shape. There's the lumpy gentleman there with his, his details there, and then simplified. Okay, so let's have a look at some more. In fact, we'll do the animals. Okay, we'll start with an elephant. Now, the simple shapes of an elephant are basically egg shapes. See these egg shape for the body, one for the ears, one for the head and so on, and a kind of slight tubular shape for the trunk and the legs. That gets you that kind of normal type of elephant shape there. Obviously a cartoon making the big eyes and so on. But of course you can exaggerate those sizes. Exaggerate the size of the mouth and the eyes, you know. Give them a big cheesy grin. You have jumbo here. Exaggerate the size of the body. Or make it a really kind of bodybuilder type, you know. With the cat, the traditional shape of the cat, long slinky body and so on, gets you this, a very simple cartoon type cat. Again, exaggerating those shapes, you know, make the eyes bigger, the head bigger. You get a kind of cute kitten type, make it a bit fuzzier, make it big and lumpy, a lazy cat, you know, a sly cat. Same with the dog, okay, traditional shape, make it into a guard dog, you know, or a kind of dopey mutt. Or if you wanted, you could make your animal fairly realistic, you know, if you're doing something like a graphic novel, kind of horror story. Okay, so that's basically what you would do. You would try and describe the characters to yourself, whether it's animal or human, and then work around them to simplify them for your story. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, but in the meantime, all the best, and happy drawing.